I've been wanting to do a video kind of like this for quite a while now. And I know a lot of you are probably like, well, who's this guy? He doesn't even play that good. But I've over the years, I say over the years, but I'm only 17. I've been playing for quite a while. I picked up trombone in 5th grade, and then I started playing gigs seriously probably about 3 years ago, and I played just all over the place as much as I could. My grades suffered, but I learned a lot as a musician. I know a lot of musicians who are like really they're down and I don't want to say down and dirty, but I'm gonna say it. They're really down and dirty, and they get their stuff done, and they just practice all the time. And I was never that guy. I'm the guy who plays my instrument because I love playing and I think it's fun. I don't play just to be the best musician, because that I think is just such a waste of time. Trying to be the best musician, there's being the best musician you can be and trying to be the best musician. And one's fine and one's just completely ridiculous. Being the best musician, trying to be the best musician, why? There's always going to be someone out there that's not going to like what you're doing. So why would you try to be that? Why would you try to be the next, I don't know, talking bass, why would you try to be the next Jaco Pastorius or Flea? If there's always going to be someone out there that can overdo you, or just someone who doesn't like what you're doing, mainly. That's why, this is going to sound like an excuse, but that's why I don't sit down and just practice very furiously. I practice, don't get me wrong, I practice because that's what you need to do to be a musician. You need to sit down and really just play your instrument and know what sound you want and what you think sounds good. But there's so much more to me, playing music to me, than there is than just practicing. First of all, there's the fact that music isn't about being perfect, and I say this all the time to people. Music's not about being perfect. Music's for the imperfect people. So, trying to be a perfect musician kind of defeats the point, I play music because I suck with words and I have bad social skills. I'm not good at math and writing and things like that. I play music because I can't do that, but once I start playing music it doesn't really matter. Because once you're up on the stage and you're holding the groove together for a group, and I say that like I play a bunch of bass gigs, but I really don't. But once you're up there doing that, it doesn't matter what, the square root of this great big number is. But it does matter in other areas of life, so stay in school and don't do drugs. But there's just so much more out there. Knowing what kind of sound you want, this really bugs me. People who just try to take bass lines and just make them as big and furious and hyperactive as they possibly can, when the music doesn't need it. If your guitar player is playing something that's really big and intricate, and you don't need a big and intricate bass line. I mean, it might sound cool. That's for you to decide. That's for what you want to do as a musician. But the way I play bass is I just try to play whatever the music needs, not necessarily what I feel like I need as a musician, but what the music needs. That's the big thing. There's just so much. I don't even know where to start. I don't know. I hate seeing people just stress out. I asked I guess she's not a former bandmate, but I mean we're still in the band together, I guess. But I asked her what she wanted to do, what she wanted to do when she got out of high school, and she said she wanted to do something with music, but she didn't think she was good enough. And right then and there, I mean, being in the music world is a very competitive thing, and that's why I chose that I didn't want to be a part of it. But but who's to say you're not a good musician? You know, that's just it's not for those people to decide. It's for, you know, the people that you're playing with. Playing music isn't about playing the most notes and playing, you know, the being out there and being the lead guitar player and playing all these really big solos. It's about playing and making the connections with the people that you're not only playing with, but the people that, you know, you're playing for. It's about making those connections and bonding with people, and that's why I will always say to all those high schoolers out there, I'm wearing a band shirt right now. To all those high schoolers, your band friends, they're the best friends you're ever gonna have, because they're the people that see you for who you really are as a musician, and as a person, because they have to deal with you every day out of the year, unlike, you know, any other people. You know, they have to deal with you, and they have to put up with the mistakes that you make, and they have to put up with, you know, all that. Your band friends will always be your best friends, you know. Whether that's a high school band or a band that has nothing to do with school or a garage band or whatever. Those guys have your back. You know, that's what band friends bring to the table. They have your back. And also, music is just the main ingredient in music, and this is going to sound cheesy as all get out, but the main ingredient in music is just love, and it's love for your instrument and love for the music and love for the people and everything. And if you're playing music to try and send a message, it's love for that message. And that's what it's all about. It's not about being the perfect musician. It's about being a musician. That's what it's about, you know. Where to go from here? Okay, I have a very good example of this. I have two very good friends that are in the music world, and at the end of this week, they're both going to be, well, one of them is going to be going to Wayne State to go to college, and that really bums me out. But there's going to be more. And this guy, oh man, such a great musician. He picked up trumpet at the end of his sophomore year. Picked it up his sophomore year, the summer of his sophomore year. Or I guess it would be the summer of his junior year. But anyways, he picked this up, and at this time, he had just asked me to join this group with him that was this jazz ensemble out of Saginaw, and I was, of course, playing trombone because I hadn't picked up bass yet. But he picked up trumpet, and I kid you not, the next summer, he was contracted to play with a competitive drum corps. These people liked his playing so much after a year, they were willing to give him money to play for their competitive drum corps. And that just blew our minds. We had no idea where to go from this. He had perfect pitch, and he started out as a guitar player, and he's actually in the band that I'm in, or I was in. We just finished our demo tape. I don't know, I'll do something. And we just finished our demo tape, but he switched over to trumpet, and he was so focused on trumpet for probably 2 years, and he was just playing it like furiously, and that really kind of got to me, because as soon as he lost interest in guitar, I began my interest in my bass. But he eventually, well, this leads up to this. He lost by learning so fast and playing things that I, as a trombone player, had been playing, or I was playing as a 7-year or whatever. I've been playing for quite a while, and I was playing these very intense first trombone parts and everything. And I say very intense. It's a high school trombone part, but it. He was playing these things. I'm gonna turn this down real quick. As a 1-year, 2-year tops, trumpet player, and he oh my God, he had it. And one day he said, he leaned over to me, or he leaned over to my other friend that I just talked about, and he said, my lip, I just felt something in my lip. And he went to the doctor, and it turned out he had blown his lip. He had learned too fast, and he had blown that lip. So let this be a lesson to all you trumpet players. Ease into it. jump on the first trumpet part in a high school jazz band in your second year of playing. I actually just got a text from him today. He said his neurologist said his lip wasn't damaged. He pinged it or something, and had he kept playing on it, he probably would have damaged it, but he didn't. So he is still going to Wayne State to learn music. He's going to be a music performance major on trumpet, which is excellent news. And like I said, I just spent the entire summer with him in this band, and we jammed every week, and we had loads of fun. That's what it's all about. It's about getting out there and having fun, and that's the main gist of it. And then that's one side of the spectrum. On the other side of the spectrum, I have my other friend who has all this expensive gear. You go into his house, and he has tube amps and cabinets and amp heads and just all this stuff. And he has this really nice, really expensive guitar, and he, just all this stuff that he doesn't use, and it doesn't get played. And that's nothing against him. He's busy. He's got things that he needs to do. So I'm not saying that as like an insult. I'm just saying he just doesn't have the time to play it. And whenever we jam together, he always gets frustrated because he doesn't know. I don't want to say he doesn't know, because he knows he's like way more advanced than I am in theory and everything. And he's got all that theory just crammed into his mind, which I just cannot believe, because I'm not a theory oriented person. But he doesn't have time to play his instrument, so he doesn't. All that music theory, it doesn't go that far, because he doesn't just sit down and play his instrument, because like I said, he doesn't have time. But it's two completely different sides of the spectrum. One person who loves their instrument so much that they play it so much that they can't play it anymore, and one guy that has all this nice gear, and he can't play it, because he doesn't, like I said, he doesn't have time. I'm gonna keep saying that because I don't want it to sound like I'm insulting him, because I'm not. He's a great person. He's a great person. I've been in band with him since I was in 6th grade when I moved to this particular town, and he's just one of the best friends that I've had over the years, and I haven't really had the chance to hang out with him a lot because we've both got conflicting work schedules. But where was I going with that? So yeah, that was just kind of a story. It really had nothing to do with what I was saying, but there it is. You can have it. So yeah, there's that. Getting back to music. It's all about having fun. Don't overplay it. No, overplay it. Just don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. It's music. It's meant to be a little imperfect. You're meant to biff a riff every once in a while. Hey, that rhymed. Biff a riff. I'm gonna have to remember that. So yes, keep playing and try to keep what I have in mind, or what I've said in mind. But that's not what it's about. It's not about looking up to a single person. You've got to find what you think, music-wise. You can't just get it. You can't get it from like a 20-minute YouTube video or whatever. You need to have a couple years at least to just think things through a little bit. Maybe not a couple years, a couple months. Just think things through a little bit. Play on a level where you're considering things. Listen to interviews from other musicians. I liked Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins. I listened to the Smashing Pumpkins a lot. A guy I work with got me into them. I don't necessarily agree with a lot of Billy Corgan's views as a musician, but I think earlier on he was a really good musician. He's a fantastic guitar player. I just don't agree with him as a musician. And on the other side, there's John Frusciante, the guitarist for the Red Hot Chili Peppers, who is just this mad genius. He's a mad genius. He really is, and he's a great guitar player. And he's a great person, and he's a great. There's just nothing I can say about the guy that won't give you that. That won't tell you. There's nothing that I can say about John Frusciante that will tell you who John Frusciante really is, because you have to know. You have to like watch all the videos and everything. But so yeah, you gotta watch interviews. The Heart is a Drum Machine. At the end of it, there was like a 40-minute interview with John Frusciante, and it is existential. It is a great video, and I love it. So watch it, because you might also love it, and it might open your eyes to a few things. Yeah, and I mean, you have to find what you think, and you also have to find what you want to listen to. You can't just like take everyone's word for it. You've got to learn a little bit on your own. Like if someone tells you they don't like a band, don't just not listen to them because they said they don't like the band. Don't listen to the band because someone told you that they don't like them. Listen to the band because you're potentially discovering a band that you might really like. Porcupine Tree is a great example. I had a friend who I work with, who was the guy who turned me on to the Smashing Pumpkins. He mentioned Porcupine Tree, but we never listened to him at work. By the way, my job is I sit in the basement and I clean things and I listen to music. It's kind of a cool job. I'll get more in depth into it, but not right now. We never listened to it, and I brought it up to that guitar player friend that I said that blew his lip on the trumpet. And he said he didn't really like him, because like I said, he has perfect pitch, and the lead singer goes off pitch every once in a while or something like that. So I didn't really listen to him, but I later went on to listen to him, and I found out I really like him. I don't have perfect pitch, so if he goes off pitch every once in a while, it really makes no difference to me. So, there's that. And yeah. So you got to find what you want to listen to. Listen to different genres. Listen to whatever you can from that genre. I really like funk. I really like punk rock. I really like experimental music, the Mars Volta, Porcupine Tree, progressive rock, stuff like that. And hard rock, like Audioslave, ska. Ska is one of my favorite genres. I love Sublime. I love, oh man, I can't even think of their name now. Slightly Stupid. I love bands like that. So yeah, you gotta find what you want to listen to. Listen to as much as you can and just soak it all in, and then go from there. So that's all I've got for you, because I don't know, I'm going on like 20 minutes on this video and I don't really want to. So I want to upload it in video, or upload it to YouTube, and I don't want to upload it in parts. So yes. Oh, and by the way, if you were wondering why I've been wearing the same shirt for the past 4 videos, it's because I've done them all in like an hour. So yeah. Have a good one.